Hey guys, so as we continue to discuss and make our notes and make a plan towards the next upgrade or update for SKN, as we mentioned in a recent video, we talk about how we're going to change cleanup into more of a focus of texture management as well as some new texture management functions. That's what most people seem to use it for, and frankly, that's what I use it for. So the texture management function is something that you're going to see it really evolve, and we're very excited about that. But I want to remind you that the tone function is something that I have been like screaming from the rooftops for years, because in and of itself, it's powerful. And there was some debate early on whether or not we should make the tone function its own panel, but I thought they were too related to separate them. So let me explain how it works. First and foremost, SKN, at least for now, has a really great way of targeting skin to enhance Photoshop's brain, if you will, when it comes to creating a mask. Right? So for example, let's go ahead and hit this little button on the bottom left, which is going to select the skin. That's a kind of a secondary function, if you will, that you can click and use it if you need to select the skin for any function, really. It doesn't have to be with SKN, but it has something to do. I'm going to go ahead and click it there. It has something to do with our chroma data method. We love using chroma data to kind of do all kinds of things, but it helps Photoshop see through certain shadows and things to get you a cleaner mask. So once it's done, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. As you can see, we have a great selection here. It's a great skin tone mask. And if it requires any editing, it'll be very minor. I'm going to deselect that. Right click the bottom left button to open up the options for that. I'm going to go ahead and put it on from average to loose, allowing it to see a little bit more of the skin tone. And this time I'm going to run tone. So I'm going to hit the play button right here and I'm going to let it run. Usually takes a few seconds because it's setting up a lot of different layers and luminosity, mask, and some cool, sort of blend modes and things of that nature. It's a complicated layer stack that's really cool. Don't get us wrong. And we're going to evolve that as well, but only in practical ways, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, it's already done. So if I hit this little eyeball down here, you can see the mask. Very good. Some highlights here on the chest are a little bit missing, but that's okay. That's a nice clean mask, and it really gets us where we want to go. Now, if we really want to, while we're there looking at that, we can paint with white and quickly clean that mask up a little bit. I'm going to go a little faster than maybe I would if this was a real project. But I just want to kind of give you guys an idea. It's just a Photoshop mask. It's nothing proprietary, okay? But then you can come back and continue working. Now, what's great about the toning function, like I've mentioned so many times, but I'm going to review, is that it does an HSL or HSB replacement. It's not doing like, oh, let me get a curves layer and darken. No, it's not levels. It's not exposure. It's an HSB replacement. So if I go to the midtones, for example, and I darken it, as you can see, it gets dark in a very natural, very replacey sort of way, right? The hue shift, I can make it more yellow, which is too much, or more pink. But that's, of course, similar to Capture One, where we can adjust. In case everything that you're doing makes things a little too red or a little too yellow, you can make a quick adjustment. And all skin tones, regardless of nationality or ethnicity, fall between, generally speaking, like a pink and a yellow-green. So that's where that can be adjusted there. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the brightness there. Now on highlights, I can take the brightness down and literally remove the highlights. Why? Because we're not darkening white with curves or something like that. It doesn't work if you try that. This is literally replacing the white. So I can tone it down, and then I can go back to my midtones, maybe darken those. Take the saturation down. The color is getting a little too strong. I have also fake highlights that I can add. See that beautiful highlighting? I can make them tighter, make it real strong for a second. Real tight highlights. Tighter highlights, wider highlights. See that? I can play around with that. Really great for shiny skin functions of that nature. And then linear contrast amount, I can slide that up and create a beautiful linear contrast, meaning that it's just kind of try to make the darkest points darker and the lightest points lighter, and everything in between goes in between. Why am I showing you all this? The reason why I'm mentioning all this is because, for one, it's really cool and you really can't mention it enough. And two, we are moving forward. Like I said, it's not going to be tomorrow, but we're moving forward with updates to SKN. So we're very curious what you guys might think, SKN users or anyone who's been thinking about it but wasn't sure. Curious what you guys would want to see. Give us all your hopes and dreams. You never know what we can come up with, right? For example, in the grading section here, we have different ways you can grade by choosing these gradient map presets that were derived from actual skin tones of multiple photographs that we came up with, that we gathered together and all that. And you can change the opacity to make it stronger. You can change the saturation of the skin tone if you want, so etc. You can change the blend mode. Overlay is going to be a little stronger. And of course, hue and color for very subtle changes. Usually soft light's the way to go though. And once again, you have contrast, you have luminosity if you want. You can really dial in a skin tone perfectly. And everything is dynamic and always existing on your layers window. So if you continue on, for example, selective color, I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. If I come here and I choose some grading of some kind, I'm going to do something heavy. There you go. I can come back always into SKN. Didn't mean to open the folder. Into SKN, and I can tone things down until I get it just right for the color grade. And that's what's cool about it. You don't have to commit to it. And even the highlight modification, you can change that actively while you're working, like I said, any way that you want that you feel works for you. And that's the entire point of it with that HSB replacement. And before I go, I'll do one quick demo because some people do ask, how does this work? I don't recommend that you come into the layer stack and start messing with things. It's pretty touchy. And if you disconnect the metadata, you have to reset SKN or run it again. But I'm going to show you an example of what's possible. So here's the mid section, right? The midtones. If I were to come and open up that color and choose a crazy color like green, you see what I'm talking about with HSB replace? It is replacing the midtones. It is not darkening or lightening or shifting the hue around. It is replacing. Now, we throttled it so it's only in the appropriate skin tone range because for the most part, we don't need to make anyone into She-Hulk. But nonetheless, that's the power that's there. And because you can leverage that sort of power, just because of a cool mathematical blend mode setup in the layer stack, it allows you to make changes that feel very, very natural. And you can get pretty liberal with it, whether you want to darken or lighten skin and add highlights and things of that nature. The HSB replacement is the core of that, even though there's other layers that do different things. So I wanted to show you what that was like, to remind you that the toning function is super powerful. And in and of itself, like I said, it makes SKN worth it. But I definitely want your feedback. Tell us in the comments below, drop us an email, whatever you like. Tell us what you would like to see with SKN. Now, a final comment. Photoshop Beta, a few months ago, showed that they already are starting to unroll, for lack of a better term, body part selecting. That is where you can tell Photoshop, hey, select the skin, the lips, the hair, the eyes, the nose even, I think it was, ears, legs, and body and arms. All these things are unrolling in beta, and we're watching that because that's going to change and eventually, presumably, be something that we can leverage with SKN to create skin tone selection. So our chroma method may be retired. I don't know. No matter. Chroma still has uses for lots of other things, but when Photoshop finally pushes the body part selection, the people selecting function into the normal version and not beta, we will adapt. And that's one of the reasons why we've been kind of slow and waiting to update SKN. We don't want to go to 1.5 or even 2.0 until we know what Adobe is doing, because the skin tone selection is very, very important. Anyway, leave a comment below on what you'd like to see. We're always listening.